Welcome back to episode 180 of the Guy Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guns and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking with Philip Smith, president of the National African American Gun Association. Family sponsors Farms Radio Network. Thanks, Jake.
Jake. Also, crossbreed holsters. If you're carrying a gun, you should be carrying in a crossbreed, the most comfortable holster in the world. Go check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
Carry the cross. Hey, if you haven't checked out Patriot Patch Company, too, I'm just going to plug Jake's other little outfit there. They got some cool stuff. Check it out. PatriotPatch.co. This week's Guide Gun Tech activities. Doug, what have you been up to?
Let's see. This week, my God's side, I've been doing my daily devotionals, Words from Jesus for Men. Gun side, of course, been doing everyday carry. I ain't done a whole lot this week since we talked on Saturday. Stopped in my local gun store a couple times this week, checking to see if I was ever going to get to bring my suppressor home. It's like in suppressor jail. So,
what suppressor? What is it? Where you got to get prayed out of? Purgatory.
Purgatory. Yeah. So all you guys help me out. Let's pray my suppressor out of purgatory. I don't know, dude. 9 months.
We don't really believe that. That's a Catholic.
Yeah. 9 months. Well, if we got Catholic friends out there, hey, come on.
Peace.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. 9 months, man, to get a suppressor. That's just ridiculous. You know, they've had my $200 for 9 months. You know, come on. Get off my suppressor. Let me have it. So I go down to the gun store every once in a while. My gun guy down there tells me when I was checking on it, he goes, hey, he said, I did see the ATF this week. I was like, oh, yeah, really? I said, what are they doing? He said, they came in to do a little inspection. He said, one of the first things they want to see was the suppressor that's yours that was in the safe. I said, well. I said, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So
make sure it's still there.
Make sure it's still. I go down there. I go down at lunch every once in a while and just let it know who its dad is, and then it'll be coming home sometime as soon as the adoption papers and stuff are done.
I used to have visitation rights with mine. The Ruger Mark II, integrally suppressed. They gave me the grip, the lower part of the gun, and then I was almost 9 month things, and I would go up there like every month or so, like, what about it? He goes, nope. He said, I'll call you. I go by. I said, can I look at it? Yeah, you can look at it.
You know, the next one I get, I'm going to have it shipped to a different gun store. I'm going to ship it to my buddies up at a gun range up in Macon. They have an indoor range, and as long as they have it there and they're in possession of it, I can actually go in there and shoot it.
Hey, there you go.
So that may be what I do with my next one. I'm fixing to get with Charlie Watson and our buddies over at Ackless. Yep. And I'm going to get me one. I can't decide if I want just a straight 9mm can, or if I'm going to get a 30 cal can, something that I can put on an AR or whatever, shoot pretty much anything through it. I haven't decided what I want yet, but
45 can.
Yeah. Put it on the 21.
45 is already subsonic, so it's going to be quiet.
Oh, yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You have to buy that big heavy bullet 9mm to get those subsonic.
Mm-hmm. Hey, every little bit helps, man. That's like we were shooting them 22s up there that day, the non-subsonics, man. Yeah, they had a little crack when they got out on the range a little further, but it was still quiet shooting them.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't bad. Let's see, what else did I do this week? I went to the lake Monday with my boss. He come in my office and like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing? He goes, you want to go to the lake? Absolutely. Off we go. So we sat up there till 12 o'clock. We had both had limits of crappie, and got them back. And I got home about 3 o'clock in the morning, got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to work. And I was a little red eyed the next morning, but I'm not as young as I used to be, Troy. I'm going to tell you.
Is that when your wife posted that lovely picture of you?
Picture of me. Oh, that was the next day. Yeah.
In the chair.
Yeah. She was I didn't feel real well, and I didn't understand why. I come home from work and I was like, man, I just don't feel good. Kind of just wasn't all there, and I forgot about fishing the day before, and because it took a little time to catch up with me, and man, I got my blanket out and laid back in the chair. Next thing I was gone, and then that's one thing you don't do in my house is close your eyes when somebody's got a camera around in the house, because you're probably going on Facebook or Instagram. That's just the way it works.
Or toenail polish or lipstick.
Yeah, now they don't do that to me, but I don't want to give them no ideas either.
Sorry, we'll just strike that from the podcast.
Yeah, my poor Ella, my black lab, she is about 21 days from having puppies again.
Oh,
her last batch, and man, she's way bigger this time than she has with the other two litters, and she's just miserable. It's like, oh man, it'll be over soon, but she looks like she's going to have several.
At least before summertime, or at least before it gets hot.
Yeah, she'll have them. She'll have them dropped and done. They'll be ready to go home by 1st of June. So
cool.
I've got all of them spoken for already. I've had people hit me up since she had her last litter going, hey, when's she going to have some more? When's she going to have some more? So she's getting there. We had one of my daughters came over tonight, so she was preoccupied with hoping something would fall off the table and hit the floor so she could grab it tonight. So she didn't come in the room. She's in here with me when we're recording. She's just hanging out next to me, laying down next to me, just stays in here. But tonight, I heard her breathing under the door a while ago. She was trying to see if I was in here.
Yeah, buddy, I took him walking today. I think I about killed him.
Oh, really?
Audrey and I, so since that challenge started, I've been walking more, and Audrey wanted to go with me today. And so we took off walking, and she did good the first 20 minutes or so, and so did Buddy. He went with us, and he did good the first 20 minutes. But then on the return trip, both of them started lagging. She started lagging behind, and he started lagging behind, and I was dragging him and her before we got to the house. I'm like, I'm 5 times, probably more than that, bigger than either one of them. And I said, you guys ought to be able to keep up with me. Both of them had their tongues hanging out and was whining before we got back to the house. I'm like, y'all out of shape.
Yeah. They're like, we're done.
Yeah. So is that all your stuff?
That's it. What'd you do this week?
Wait, I lost 4 pounds.
Yeah, congrats.
It's Saturday. I've got, I didn't weigh Sunday. I guess I didn't wait till Monday, so I probably lost more than that, but I know I lost 4 pounds since I started weighing, and been walking. So, well, the God said,
hey, just for clarification, it don't count if you start out and you got all your EDC stuff on and then you take it off.
No, I'm buck naked. I ain't taking pictures for you, but I'm buck naked. I get first thing I do is get in the morning, go to the bathroom, and then take everything off, step on the scale. That way, there's no variation there other than just me.
Yep.
And weigh it, and then put it in my little MyFitness app, and then it tells the world whether I did good or bad. Yep. It sends it out to all your friends. I got several friend requests this week on a couple of different apps. But so let's see. Back from that to the God side, we had a church. At Church Sunday, we had an information meeting about the mission trips coming up this summer. We've got 3 big ones, and then we got some local projects going to be later this fall. We had over 100 people show up, and it was really good. It was a good turnout, and so did my presentation, had a little PowerPoint presentation, answered some questions, and did security Wednesday night, last night at church. We won't have one next week because it's spring break, so everybody's going to be gone. And then I've been preparing for the Wyoming trip. We're leaving out Saturday morning, and I've got to pack some guns for the prairie dog shoot. And I've got most of my clothes packed. I've just got to go down, load up the camper, and be ready to go Saturday morning. And it's going to be 2 pretty good days of driving out there. I don't know. We might rotate driving this drive straight through. I don't know. Anymore, I'm a little afraid of riding 25 hours straight, throw a blood clot and croak or something at our age.
Yeah.
So probably going to take lots of breaks and everything since we're not in a rush. So that was pretty much my guide stuff and gun stuff there. I didn't do much guns. Cleaned a couple. Dug one out of the back of the safe for Jim. It's going along with me. Shoot some prairie dogs. Got my varmint hunting license for South Dakota online. That was a really quick process. So I'm legal.
Oh, legal.
As legal as I can be in South Dakota, I guess. But so that's my guide and gun stuff for the week. Didn't have a whole lot going on other than just preparing for that. We've been working on our house, still trying to get that thing finished up, and all kinds of other stuff, but it's not really worth EDC check. What are you carrying today, Doug?
Yeah, all day been carrying the Glock 21. Team Never Quit ammo. Tonight, right now, actually, I have my Kimber 45 laying here on the desk with me. I had to go get my funny story. I had to go get my oil changed today for my truck, and I didn't want to leave my gun in my truck, so I had one of the guys that I work with took me down. I was like, "Hey man, I'm just gonna put my gun in here. Is that cool?" He's like, "Yeah." So I slid it under their seat, and me and Wendy went out, and after I left work to go eat, and I met her at the restaurant, and I reached over to the console and I pulled the lid up on my console, looked in there, and no gun. I was like, somebody stole my gun. I was like, oh wait. So I called him up. I was like, hey dude, when you get home, if your wife gets in the car, I said, be careful because there's a loaded 45 under her seat. So he's like, oh, you left your gun. I was like, yeah, I did. He goes, are you going to want that back? I'm like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, I think I will.
So right now I am carrying, I have my Kimber 45. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, looks good.
She's the little 3-inch version.
Well, I've got my tomahawk right here. I'm taking out a trip with me. I got the Glock 19 Gen 3 Trigicon RMR with the Surefire. The one we see every week.
Hey, your tomahawk there looked a little bit like half of your Axis and Tactical shirt you're wearing tonight.
Yeah, they have a don't they have a tomahawk?
I think so. I do believe they do.
Yeah, I would like the one of those. This is just the CRKT tomahawk. It's good for driving tent pegs and zombies and things like that. And
it looks like a tobacco hatchet.
Yeah, it's a sharp little dude. You can skin a deer with that thing. I don't want to skin myself with it, so I'm putting a guard back on it.
Nice.
Don't want to do that. So that's the usual stuff. You guys know it. Show notes. If you're curious, if you're getting questions, you can always text us or chat with us on the group chat. Well, I don't know. I'm not looking at group chat. Might look at group chat, see if anybody's chatting at us over there. Anybody chatting with us over there?
I'm looking.
Probably somebody's over there saying something awful about us or awful good about us. I'll turn this on mute so I don't have to hear it.
Is anybody logged in with us tonight?
There's 2.
Oh, hey.
Over there, yeah. So if y'all are listening and you want to ask Doug questions, go ahead. I got the chat window. We're novices at this stuff. We're trying to figure it out. Usually somebody's over there giving us a hard time or saying something. We don't see it till it's too late. Yeah, so that was Yeah, it's in the crossbreed holster. Of course, got the Glock 26 in my vest. It's behind me, and 2 spare mags, one in my cargo pants pocket, and one in the Gideon crossbreed Gideon pocket mag holder. And yep, that's it. So you got a joke first?
I do got a joke. Chad, our buddy Chad, sent me a couple this week, so this was pretty good. It's called The Old Preacher. The old preacher was dying. He sent a message to his banker and his lawyer, both church members, to come to his home. When they arrived, they were ushered to the bedroom. As they entered the bedroom, the preacher held out his hand and motioned for them to come sit on each side of the bed. The preacher grasped their hands, sighed, contentedly smiled, and stared at the ceiling. For a time, no one said anything. Both the banker and the lawyer were both touched and flattered that the preacher would ask them to be with him in the final moments. They were puzzled. The preacher had never given them any indication that he particularly liked either one of them. They both remembered his many long, uncomfortable sermons about greed, their extravagant behaviors, and made them squirm in their seats. Finally, the banker said, "Preacher, why did you ask us to come?" The old preacher mustered up the strength and said weakly, "Jesus died between 2 thieves, and that's how I want to go too."
Yeah, that's a good one.
I thought that was pretty good.
Hey, Philip's over there telling me about how many mags I'm carrying. He said, "You only got 2." I'm like, "Well, I got 3 more in my tactical vest behind me."
Philip Smith?
Philip from our buddy down south.
Oh, what's up, Philip?
I got an ammo can over here full of 9mm. So it's holding my microphone so it won't fall on my lap.
That's pretty bad when you use a can of ammo just to hold up a mic.
Hey, it works. It's good counterbalance. It's got a long arm and it goes way over there. All right. Oh, you got some feedback too. Cool. Chuck,
we did. If you want to read that one, everything looks kind of blurry to me right at the moment.
Yeah, we know it's a Kentucky education.
I don't know how it is up in Kentucky right now.
Yeah,
but the pollen is kicking my tail.
Yeah, in the night my eyes are all blurry and my nose is running. All right, everybody. Chuck sent us whatever it is. Feedback. Which way it came? Feedback. He says, "Hey guys, I've been listening to you guys talk about The Biggest Loser. I thought I would share something funny." He's gonna talk about us. No, I've been dealing with health issues most of my life, and over the past few years, I've been in and out of doctors' offices on nearly a weekly basis. Normally, I remove my EDC forms before going in to avoid awkward moments with doctors and nurses. However, when going for chemo checkups, I chose to leave them, knowing there would be a no-touch or undressing involved. They checked my weight every visit and became normal for me to carry when going to those appointments. And I went to another doctor who had my reports, and since I knew that he would be poking my abdomen, I went without the hardware. And the nurse asked me if I'd lost any weight recently. I said, no, not really, not thinking about it first. The moral of the story is 11 pounds of weight on my EDC arms and extra magazines. EDC, his EDC check is the Springfield XDS 339 9mm with 8-round mag, 2 spare 9 mags, inside waistband Cadex holster, and outside waistband double mag carrier Kershaw Emerson CQC-3K Tanto blade Olight S10R baton. I love that S10R baton. I've got one in my pocket right now. Great little lights. Really bright. They're outrageously bright for as small as here. But that's a cool EDC, man. I love that Springfield XDS 9. I sold the one I had to one of our associate pastors, and I've not found one for the deal I got on that since. And I'm still looking for another one if I can pick it up at a good deal. The moral of the story is if you want your doctor to think you're doing some weight loss, reduce the EDC. I guess it was funnier in my head than things really are. No, that's pretty funny. 11 pounds of EDC. That's,
yeah, it was good.
I probably can top you on that one. Let's see. If I've got my tactical vest on, with my tactical vest, the stuff I carry to church, I've got the 5 mags.
Yeah, but you're carrying 3 guns
pistols
usually.
2 to 3 pistols. Depends on what I'm carrying. Usually 2 to 3 pistols and knife, pepper spray, and what's the other thing? A little zapper, shocker,
taser.
I carry a taser. Yeah. So I got that on, and then I got always have let's do the gun. Whatever it's called, med kit.
Yep.
I always carry that with me as well, and so I've got a lot of junk on. And I carry a bag with me. In my bag, I've got 5 33 round magazines and the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 carbine.
Any word?
These things get really dicey.
Any word?
I'll tell you that off air.
Has your buddy found any more yet?
Nope, not yet. I tell him as soon as you get one, man. Doug will drive up here from Georgia.
Yes, he will.
All right. Oh, Doug's got some more stuff here. I just scroll down. Love the show. Continue to be encouraged by your commitment to Christian values. I pray that your blessings continue. Look forward to the next podcast. God bless you both, Chuck. And may you experience the love of Christ through, though it is too great to understand fully, then you will be made complete with all the fullness of life and power that comes from God. Ephesians 3:19, New Living Translation. Butchered that up there. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Chuck. Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometime when I'm back out in Virginia, I'm going to go visit their church. It's not too far from Williamsburg, where we were camped at last fall. Not last fall. It's the fall before last. Is that long ago?
Yeah.
I guess it was. A year and a half ago. Cool. All right. So weekly Bible verses. I've got a few verses tonight. And the reason for this is I've got a lot of friends that say they're Christians. A lot of people say they're believers. And I hear language that is not honoring God. And I know I'm going to probably bend somebody's noses, but I hit my thumb with a hammer. I might say something I shouldn't, or when someone really gets on my nerve. Oh man, we got all kinds of comments over in chat.
Oh, do we?
All right. So let's address those real quick, and then we'll go back to this. So Philip is worried about me for a second. Haha. Everything's great. Philip says everything's great, and he says, "What's up, Doug?" And your wife is coming there. I'll let your
my wife's on.
Your wife's on. You see the chat?
I can't see it. I don't have.
Oh, she says what is preferred gun for women to carry gas? Yeah, you want to go out and buy a Ruger LCP.
No.
You will get the hot rounds.
You're killing me, Smalls.
It depends on your hand strength. It depends on what your hand feel is. Depends on what your level of confidence is. It depends on how you gonna carry it. Wendy, I'll let Doug. Pocket Lifesaver. Yeah, thanks for the catch there, Philip. It's Pocket Lifesaver from Stu the Gun from the Markles. I carry that all the time. I had one before, but theirs is a lot more compact and a lot more easy to put in my cargo pockets. Okay, right. So back to Bible verses. Let's get our brain tonight. Okay, so Bible foul language. I hear a lot of people claiming to be Christians. I hear a lot of people that say they believe in God and that they believe in power of prayer and that they say all these things, but I hear feedback. They say all these things, but yet I hear them cuss and I see them post these WTF post, and I see them post people flying the one finger salute, and I see them posting some things that they shouldn't be posting. So, pulling the plank on my own out of here, but before I try to find y'all spec here, but I've had people tell me that's not in the Bible. It didn't say you can't cuss in the Bible. Well, let's just read these verses here, and we'll discuss that. Ephesians 4:29 ESV version here. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as good for building up and fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. Matthew 15:11 ESV version again. All these will be ESV. It is not what goes into the mouth that defiles a person, but what comes out of the mouth that defiles a person. Colossians 4:6. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how ought to answer each person. Proverbs 15 verses 1 and 2. A soft answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouth of fools pour out folly. And Ephesians 5:4. Let there be no filthiness, no foolish talk, no crude joking, which are out of place, but instead let there be thanksgiving. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verses out of 80 that I know of, talking about how we should talk, how we should be holy, how we should be set apart, how we should be aliens in this world, not like other people. We should be the salt and light. We shouldn't cause a brother to stumble. And I'm not laying down law because we're under grace. I understand that. But we should be different than the rest of the world. We're called to be higher and holier, and we're called to speak with grace, and we're called to honor one another, and we're called to love one another. And when we get angry, we say things we regret later, and there's grace for that. But we need to make sure that we are not riding that grace train right off into the abyss, because a lot of people who I want to hold up as good brothers of mine, I hear them saying some really vulgar things, and it hurts me. I mean, my kids listen to these shows and stuff, and most of the people come on the show know that this is a family show. This is not somewhere where you cuss. But I get invited on lots of other shows, but they cuss so much. I really don't want to go on there because I don't want my kids hearing what's going on. And so, and I, not that I'm not holier, but I'm called to be holy. I'm not better in any way. I'm a sinner just like everyone else. But guys, we're called to be set apart. We're called to be holy. We're supposed to be holy because God is holy. Not that we will ever obtain it this side of heaven, but we're supposed to try to obtain as much as we can. And we're supposed to watch our tongues. And it's, the Bible says, be angry, but sin not. And cussing someone or calling someone a fool, those things they're in the Bible. You don't call people fools, as we were talking about in the interview that you guys will be hearing coming up if you're on the podcast. We're to honor, respect one another. We're to make sure that we recognize them as made in the image of God. And just as we don't want children to be aborted or because we think they're inconvenient, those children are made in the image of God. And just like that, people we disagree with are made in the image of God. And although we might disagree with them, we should not be cussing them or calling them fools or calling them names that would not honor God and would present us as not being who we were supposed to be. I'm going to say about that tonight, but there's a lot of Bible verses that say you're not supposed to be cussing, and you're supposed to be holy, and you're not supposed to be calling people names. Or it's one of the things I hate most about. I don't know if hate's the right word, but one of the things I just despise the most about again, arguments on Facebook or social media is that you'll have people who just will call you a name and then they'll just write you off. And we talked about that in the interview as well. If you make someone to be less human than you, then they have no value. Then you're okay to, since they're subhuman, then you can kill them. That is the kind of mentality the Nazis used. It's the kind of mentality that the genocidal maniacs over the last thousands of years have used. That, oh, they're not pure-blooded enough, or they're not intelligent enough, and so we can treat them differently than God calls us to treat them. We don't want to go down that road. We need to honor and love everyone, even those are enemies, and pray for them. All right, so that was the verses for this week. Again, Ephesians 4:29, Matthew 15:11, Colossians 4:6, Proverbs 15:1 and 2, and Ephesians 5:4. All right, so how can you help out the show? At the request of several people, we have established a Patreon account. We have several people over there that support us on Patreon. We appreciate that. Patreon.com/Guns. And the top three guys get their name mentioned. And Tim Kim, Doug Schultz, and Steve Stone are the top of the board there. Well, they're giving like crazy amounts of money. So we really appreciate that. For that support for the show. T-shirts, I am out of vintage T-shirts. The new ones are ordered, supposed to be in hopefully very soon, and hopefully before NRA final bumper stickers that they have not come in yet. I've got those on order, and we still have a few patches left, and you can find all of that on our website. So
you got to put the new shirt up on the website for people to see.
Yeah, as soon as I've got one in hand, I will put up some nice pictures. All I've got just the logo layouts where they're supposed to be at, so it doesn't really. I don't have a really good picture to put up there right now, but as soon as they come in, I'll have full photos of them. And we'll stick them up there.
I know one thing.
I've already got people wanting orders.
They are cool. Hopefully, we'll have them at NRA with us.
Yep, I hope to have them all ready by then. So up next is our main topic. Philip Smith will be joining us from the National African American Gun Association. If you're listening to this live on YouTube, we had our interview separately, and that will be plugged in here for the podcast. All right, so you can help out the show in other ways. Join the NRA. It saves you $10, and it gives us a little bit of love. We had several people join recently, so NRA sent us a check a couple weeks ago, a week ago. So
we did. We got some more.
It.
We got some more coming online too, because NRA is going to be here in Atlanta. Yep. A few weeks, 3-4 weeks from now, and yep. I got friends that I work with that want to go and check it out. They've never been to one, never seen it, and I told them, hey, come on, join the NRA.
Yep,
and they've been doing it.
The NRA. Cool. And you get a lifetime membership till what's the last day of the month? Tomorrow? Until tomorrow night at midnight. I think they're $600 if you use our link. $600 for lifetime membership. That's a pretty good deal. I paid $1,500 on my first one it took me 5 years. Yeah. I paid it like $25 every so often, and I paid it off, and then kept upgrading until I know where I am now.
Hey, I want to say one thing before we got too far into this. They are not a sponsor of ours, but anytime I see good deals on guns and different things, I like to pass them on to our listeners. So in case you're interested in that particular item, I don't know if you saw Kentucky Gun Company's flyer for this week they got. But they are running a sale on the Smith & Wesson M&P shields.
Mm-hmm.
$75 mail-in rebate on them that makes the gun $249.
Golly.
That's not a bad deal, man.
Yeah, I saw the March Madness flyer they sent.
Yeah, March Madness flyer. You got a few more days to get one.
And they're only 20 miles from me now, so it's a lot closer. 25, I guess.
Yeah, you have to go up and say hi to Nicole for me.
Yeah, every time I'm in there, they're just covered up busy.
Oh, I know. Now I think they started the, what do they call it? Power sports, motorsports or something. They sell four-wheelers and side-by-sides and
Oh
a
man, I have
little
to
bit
quit
of
going
everything
over
up
there.
there now. Huh?
I have to quit going over there. I'd be broke.
Oh, I know. Nicole's been wanting me to come up and sell me a side-by-side for a while now.
I'm wanting a side by side. Our old Polaris 6x6 is getting pretty long in the tooth. I think I'm gonna have to put her out to pasture. Okay, so where are we at? DVR link. If you use a DVR link, they'll send us a little bit of love. If you buy something, laser activated shot reporter, it's LASRAPP. Use the coupon code GANDG. You get 10% discount. It is great for dry fire practice, and yet I still haven't got John on. I keep saying what I gave on. And Hoplite Armor. If you need body armor, don't go anywhere but Hoplite Armor. We are affiliate. If you use our link, we'll get some love. And Lyman Bishop is a cool cat. He's been on here before, and he's going to be coming back on soon. And then he'll probably be with us up at Montana for the Interius Alliance event. I think it's going to be Wingspan event at Montana where we were at last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you get the next two.
All right. Frog Lube, the non-petroleum based minty green cleaner CLP for your guns. As Larry Lasky says, it just saves marriages. You can clean your gun in the living room. You don't get the smell of rim oil all over your furniture, and your wife doesn't get mad at you. It just works. Go try it out. If I still have a few samples, if anybody is interested in trying something that has not gotten a sample of it, hit me up in an email, let me know, and I will send you one and let you try it out. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. So go check those guys out, froglube.com. Use our promo code God and Guns to get a 10% discount on me and Troy. Also, last but not least, Crossbreed Holsters. If you are carrying a gun, you should be carrying it in a Crossbreed holster, the most comfortable holster you can carry in. Troy and I both carry in the Super Tuck Deluxe with the horsehide backer. Can't beat it. They also have appendix carry, drop slides, the Freedom carry, you name it. They got a bedside backup, ram mount, and they actually have a new one out for your truck that goes up under the dash. So you can pretty much attach a gun to anything that you want to with a Crossbreed holster. Go check those guys out, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
You want me to read this NRA?
Yeah, if you don't mind. My eyes are still blurry from this pollen and junk today.
All right. NRA Armed Citizen this week comes to us from Jefferson County, Alabama. 79-year-old man kills home invasion suspect. Deputies looking for two other suspects. The suspect is dead after Jefferson County authorities say a homeowner shot him during an overnight burglary. Responding sheriff's deputies found a 79-year-old homeowner sitting in his front porch of his home at the 2400 block of Ormond Drive around 1:15 a.m. Wednesday morning. Preliminary investigation indicates that the homeowner woke up when he heard noises coming from the basement. After two suspects entered his home through a window. According to the news release from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, the suspects went upstairs where one of them told the man who was still in bed not to move. The homeowner then grabbed a gun that he kept by his bed and shot at the suspects. One suspect fled the house as the homeowner chased him. A fleeing suspect shot the homeowner in the leg as he was running across the yard. He left the scene in awaiting cars. Deputy found a second suspect dead at the scene. The homeowner who was transported to the hospital but suffered non-life-threatening injuries. So there you go. Where do home invasions happen?
There you go.
At home. That's why you need a gun on you or near you within arm's reach. Middle of the night.
I got into a conversation with a lady at work the other day that she was talking about. I said something about carrying it at my house, and she said, well, you're in your house. Why are you carrying there?
Freeze frame.
And I said, huh? Do what?
Up.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
You struck a pose and you stayed there for about 5 seconds.
Oh, jeez. So I was talking to one of the ladies at work heard me say something about carrying in my house, and she said, "What do you got to have a gun in your carrying in your house for? You're already at home. You should be safe." I like. You ever seen anybody get their door kicked in and people come in and break in, robberies and all kind of bad things happen at home? She said, "Well, I got a gun." I like, "Well, where is it when you're at home?" "Well, I keep it in the bedroom locked up." I like, "Well, that's going to do you a lot of good if it comes down to it. Not going to be a stat."
Yeah, we've had several of these NRA arm sessions where they had to run past the criminals to the bedroom to retrieve a gun. They come back and get in a fight, or the wife had to left the room and come back and shot the people off their husband that was getting beat up or stabbed or whatever.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the gun with me when it starts.
Did you see the news this week? I think it was in Oklahoma. Was it Oklahoma? I think it was. Anyway, there was a guy at home. His parents were gone. Guy's like 20 years old, but 3 people broke into his house, and he retrieved an AR that his dad had there that was ready to go and killed all 3 of them.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody said with 1 bullet. I'm like, I don't think so.
No.
1 magazine, maybe, not 1 bullet.
Yeah, 1 mag. But they got the driver, the getaway driver. She was waiting in the car for him, or for them to come back out of the house, and they got her, and they got her charged with murder. I guess in Oklahoma, if you're caught or you're even involved in a burglary or something, that there's a fatality, you're guilty of murder, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I guess you did. I don't know if you could. I guess it's been in the books long enough they can get away with that, but I don't know. I don't like them making things. I don't know. It seems a little bit beyond. Just the libertarian in me sort of balks at that. But I guess if you're involved in anything that causes someone to get killed, you ought to be charged with it.
Yeah.
All right. So, you got anything else? If not, we're gonna wrap this thing up.
That's it. Appreciate Philip coming on the show with us tonight.
There he was. Maybe he quit. We had several people. I think we had five people one time there watching. That's big news for us.
Yeah, I finally figured.
As people get more familiar with it, and as we start posting this early enough for people to find out about it, maybe people will show up. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at GodandGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GodandGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GodandGunsPodcast. You can follow us on Twitter at GodandGunsPod. Search for us on Instagram. And you can find us on MeWe. Our website is GodandGunsPodcast.com. Until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close. Keep your Bible closer.